going to disrupt your backline like Impact is going to do. Same thing, Haunter, they talked about, he had so much success on this Maokai. He was an absolute monster. He just became a huge bully up on the top side, and he did a similar thing for TSM. He jumped over the back of that Dragon Pit. He got them the kills right after objectives and stuff like that. I just think that these teams are so much more at home at playing these styles. They'll probably both draft.
I think so, yeah.
5-on-5 teamfighting comps this game, I think. And that's kind of a fitting way to end this best of series, right?
Certainly is. A bit more stable, perhaps, for both teams. Welcome, viewers from LCS 2, as we are into Champs League for game number 3, our final game of the day. Fun way to end it here. Cloud9 on the blue side, banning away Rengar. 10 seconds for their second ban in this first phase. TSM over on the red, banning that Malzahar again. And there's the Maokai ban for Cloud9. So already the top lane tank pool shrinking.
Interesting here. I mean, Shen is still up. The Nautilus and Poppy are still this kind of secondary, lesser Maokais of the current meta. And we shall see which aspect they decide to go with. Because currently, I much prefer, if you are set on doing a front-to-back, kind of standard comp, tanks in the top lane are just better than tanks from the jungle. The damage dealers from the jungle right now currently just have a speed advantage and the early game advantage over the tank junglers that it's just not worth it to change the role unless you have a player that heavily favors, that style from previous seasons or something. It's just so much more standard to have. Tank top, aggressive, early game bruiser or assassin jungler to be able to create mid-game plays as well as add some extra damage for your team. A mid lane mage, that's a DPS mage. And then the bottom lane, that's going to bring CC and lethality.
Yep,
to this.
Everyone wants lethality. There's Rise Band for C9, LeBlanc, Chase joining for TSM as Kha'Zix, first pick by Cloud9. So despite all the hype around Graves, particularly on this patch, just not being first picked by either of these teams.
TSM has shown such a high priority on this pick here for Svenskeren. I mean, back-to-back, they first rounded it on both sides. So Cloud9, I feel like this is added weight because of the takeaway from Svenskeren maybe. And it is going to fill that, dueling assassin role very quick from the jungle early on. We'll see what TSM answer with. There is your Graves that we've been setting up for him.
Surely this, right? Yeah, Shane Graves to TSM. I mean, it'd be hilarious to me if Svenskeren pops off this game, wins a player of the game and then the series. You kind of wonder, okay, why didn't you play this already? But Cloud9, at least just with the way the series have gone out, are going to take the Kha'Zix kind of away from Svenskeren here, but are going to push him onto what we might think is a better champion, but maybe Sven thinks differently.
Definitely pretty close at the least here. Very curious to see if they actually still do want to go with a tank on the top side. With Maokai being banned and Shen already picked, Shen actually does quite well into Poppy as well. So maybe, I mean, it's so hard to move Impact away from them, but
I would love to see this. Yeah, Impact just going to take the Rumble instead. So you know what? I'll play the carry matchup this time and see how I fare. Jhin there for Cloud9 as well is particularly interesting because Varus is still available.
And for Cloud9, even though we say the other roles are typically less efficient tanks, Smoothie, they have Smoothie, who has been not only one of the very best supports in the entire North American LCS right now, but also he has played quite a lot of the Taric of the Tahm Kench. If you have Taric on your team, a squishy comp that's invulnerable for quite a while,
pretty good.
It becomes a little bit less squishy. So that's still an option. Yes, it does mean that you're then laning with a melee for that laning phase, but that is another, look that Cloud9 could go to balance out a little bit more front line for themselves if they really do want to work around that. Or they could also go for that super high damage index.
Well, here's Ash. So we welcome NALCS 2. May have missed you in the first time, but welcome, guys, as we're halfway through this draft for game number 3. Ash pick there for TSM's interesting. Going to let Varus go. Cassio banned by TSM. Syndra banned by Cloud9. And again, we're in a similar position to game 1 where I think both these teams just going to go after mid lane in the second ban phase.
I like your point there in the middle about, bypassing the Varus. Because usually right now on this patch, we're like, no brainer. Varus is your pick. That is the go-to marksman. However, TSM are making a very clear choice right now to go for more global presence, more picks that they can start off with the Ash Arrow with Shen. That is the one thing that Varus doesn't bring that the Jhin and the Ashe do, more so with the long range engages. And that is what they are going to bank on here.
Good read though on the Tom Kench. TSM ban away. It's good against the Ashe and with her. They're going to take that away from Smoothie. Cloud9, where do they go with this second ban? Again, it's probably another mid lane ban. I did spy Reaper over Jensen's shoulder, so probably discussing likely picks and matchups. They actually will go support though. So trading bans, if you will, in phase 2, banning away the Nami. And now TSM, what do they go for? Is it Karma?
Could very well be. And it's either going to be, you know, the Karma or the Zyra, either of which, if you're thinking, oh yeah, I'm going to bring some more, you know, frontline presence to the team with this Taric pick, laning phase with a Jhin Taric into an Ashe, either Karma or Zyra, is incredibly scary, especially since Shen being your top laner adds that cross-map play possibility. So that might actually dissuade it there, but we shall see. As C9 have to lock in both before TSM show their mid laner, and Jensen is going to have to blind pick again, allowing Bjergsen to answer with whatever he pleases.
Bjergsen's actually counterpicked every game as well. They drafted pretty much identically in game number 1, and the early Rise pick meant that Cloud9 had to show something. Echo maybe locked in here for C9. It is Echo there for Jensen, unless Impact and Jensen are doing something real zany with their mages, and now Smoothie has to round out the comp. He knows the support he's playing up against. Does he go for the Zyra? Does he want a defensive support? TSM, I think, smartly taking the more teamfight defensive support away from Cloud9, because like we kind of expected, it should be a pretty scrappy looking game.
I love the oohs and ahs over the mouse overs, but yeah, kind of as expected here. I mean, laning with Jhin plus Taric would be a bit much to ask. Leaves a lot of pressure on the bottom side, so they're going to lock in that Zyra for some, you know, more power down there. And man, this is going to be another one of those, you know, cannot make mistakes. There's definitely the execution level is just going to have to be high for Cloud9. And
oh wow!
Oh yes, assassin!
He's actually going for Zed. I mean, I was about to say, I love the Echo pick because it blocks so many picks from Bjergsen. You don't really want to play Corki into it. They banned it in game 1. It's pretty good against Assassins. And what does Bjergsen do? He says, screw it, I'm taking Zed.
And having a Shen on your team really helps out when a lot of these lanes are going to be trading heavily, and there's going to be a lot of duels that do break out. If Kha'Zix jumps on Graves while he's isolated in the jungle, which usually he'll get a good chunk out, and a small advantage, Shen pops up. Ooh, all of a sudden, that doesn't go so well. Zed plus Echo, all in each other. All of a sudden, that doesn't go so well. But you are going to be giving up some pressure because the Rumble should be pressuring the Shen, should be pushing him. Flame Spitter through the minions plus the Shen whenever possible.
This should be fun. Do like to see Jensen and Bjergsen. We talked them up before the series. Always a treat to watch them two play against each other. And they'll take a very dramatic matchup into each other here. Bjergsen again going for the counter pick, almost challenging Jensen here, saying, you know what? You want more of an assassin and diver? I'll take the assassin and diver.
Definitely exciting. We'll see if they actually are going to trade that heavily, because both of the junglers have paid a decent amount of attention around that side of the map.
And also Impact, of course, the other side of the story here. He's going to take the Rumble into the tank matchup this time. I mean, Shen brings so much more than just decent laning and good tankiness. Sure, he's not Maokai in the team fight, but he's great in the side lanes. And Impact, he's had so many strong games recently on tanks. We also know that when it counts, when he really needs to be clutch for his team, he can carry hard for Cloud9. So this is it, our final game of the day. Cloud9 TSM gonna play one more.
Number 1 ranked team versus number 2. And even if TSM win and hand Cloud9 their first loss, they still will hold similar positions. All right. See if both of them start Raptors this time around. Last time around, I do like getting that early ward in there to either give you the early intelligence that they're working on Raptors start, or even dissuade it.
Yeah, I think TSM are playing with the memory of the last few games. There's been a lot of checking in the Raptor camp for Cloud9, so I think just grouping up together and hoping someone foolishly walks out and maybe gets himself killed.
All right, let's set up the early stages of these lanes and talk about why why we expect them to be heavily trading. Actually,
3v3,
more than
Honka
invade.
goes in for a
What's
force the flash from Impact.
All right, that's an early flash down. Now let's revisit those lanes early on. Pastry, Rumble, who usually likes to get, pushing lane with Flame Spitter and trying to harass at the same time, now incredibly vulnerable, does not have flash for Impact. This is definitely going to be a target zone for jungler intervention. You have to start worrying, okay, do I need to cover a counter gank, or can we track Svenskeren well enough that I don't have to spend time up there and allow Impact to be on his own? Because Impact probably won't die, as long as there's not a lot of intervention up there. Rumble, even without flash, should be fine. He actually took a bunch of health, a bunch of damage there. It carried over because he wasn't able to base. Plus, I think he might have taken one hit from the Golem. So he's even lower than I last saw him, but he's coming in, no flash, half health into the matchup. And Svenskeren is still on top side. Going up towards Krug signals he might make a visit over, or he might do an early recall and then go down to his blue quadrant.
We'll keep track of Sven after doing that camp. Sneaky eats a big chunk of poke, though, from Bifrost. Level 1 can be tricky sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, bottom lane also is going to trade heavily, but I'm so curious about top side, because Shen landing a taunt is so easy when he has flash advantage. And Hanser should be able to set up a Graves, and Graves is moving there right now. Yeah. It's just that Impact, as we said, like, comes this mental game. Is he coming to get me? Am I going to actually fake ward? He walks down to make them think he's used his trinket ward. I believe he used it early on in the invade.
Yeah, it's somewhere else. So Svenskeren gonna take the Scuttle Curb instead. Impact maybe didn't have it up.
Yeah, that was weird with the spectator then suddenly showing that he now has cooldown. But anyways, fake warding is definitely... Whoa, there's the jump from Contract!
Gets the jump, and Skaren pretty strong by blowing up the line of first blood in for Contracts.
Oh my goodness, Contracts immediately taking advantage of the situation. Svenskeren in full vision. And I said later, if, a Kha'Zix jumps on the Graves where they usually have this burst advantage, can get turned around by a Shen. Shen's still level 3, not gonna help you out there. And that's pure 1v1. Contracts flashing over. Who doesn't get hit by the second activation of End the Line and gets in range for the kill. Grabbing first blood for C9 and critically removing any threat for the top lane here. Impact now doesn't have to worry about Svenskeren because he just cleared his red quadrant and got first blooded. If he went back to top side, he would be giving up so much on the bottom quadrant.
And Haunter just not in a position to fight either. He's getting pushed in by Impact now, keeping up in CS, which is nice. Impact going to take a turret hit there as he continuing to harass Haunter. But the rejuvenation bead's going to have to work overtime and then some to get all that health back from Rumble.
Man, Impact gets to play out the Rumble harassment anyway. Meanwhile, walking over a ward here initially is Contracts. Still going to be able to steal away. Actually, Sven should check this because they saw him walk toward the area.
Not going to check. He's going to eat damage instead. Contract isolated him again. Svenskeren going to go down against Contract. Gets another.
I almost want a replay because I thought he walked over that dying ward.
He did, but they thought he was just
Didn't
at the
they
Raptor
him out
camp.
As well?
Yeah, I think they just thought he was at the Raptor camp though because they don't have any other vision.
Yeah, all right, well...
Regardless, he face checks and Contracts is waiting, so...
We are going to find that replay so we can get a vision toggle and see if they actually saw him walking over the ward, because if they did, that is just... that is no respect at all, and you deserve what you get if you don't respect that invade. Contracts returns to the scene of the crime almost, because another kill on the Sven. Let's take a look at this. So, the ward is just... There was a yellow ping. Maybe that... I need to know whose ping that was then. Because it could have been C9 pinging that they saw the ward dying. But he stepped out just as it was dying. So that was close. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt and say they didn't see that dying. Because that could have been Cloud9's ping saying, a ward just died here. Now I'm going in. Either way, though, this is going to be huge for the early game. As this is a very snowbally Kha'Zix.
Sven certainly looks surprised. Kind of rubbing his brow after that play. It's been tough for him. 2 deaths already handed over to Contracts in under 6 minutes. Sneaky and Smoothie also getting their push on here. Ash does go back for the early BF sword buy, so total looking good as far as early items and CS goes. Impact up here as well, although Haunts is actually keeping pretty close in CS. Impact, though, almost always have that damage advantage, so got to play carefully around the Rumble. Also, though, again, just taking what CS you can. Feeling pretty comfy with that Spectre's Cow.
All right, I called in to the observers for some play-by-play on that last second as the ward expired. It was, TSM got a slight second of vision, so they did see the icon there, at least for Kha'Zix moving in, and still paid the price. Let's see, though, because that is in the past. Now what is he going to do with it? Kha'Zix is off to a very good early start. Plus, he's got the advantage of the challenging smite over the vision for Svenskeren. So he just has complete carte blanche to just run over anywhere in the jungle and basically create any sort of plays the team wants to go with.
Another interesting rotation from Cloud9. Not really behind in the lane, but actually moving topside to pressure Haunter off.
This is dirty. Walking past the turned off ward, wants to go punish him again.
Firefrost is here as well. Gonna try and steal this away, I think, with the smite. Really wants it, might be too much. Doesn't get the smite off, does get locked down, but the ultimate's gonna keep him safe.
Yeah, early smite there. Isn't gonna cost him, you know, any other summoners or any amount of health, but gonna jump out here, and Biofrost rotating up as expected here to try and catch this wave and match the 2v2 for TSM. TSM really just trying to stabilize here. As game 3, the deciding match, they want to at least get to the point where they get to combine their Ash Arrow with their Shen, stand united. Bjergsen, though.
Really nice here from Jensen. Going to have to commit the ultimate. There's Shen as well. Not nearly enough. Jensen saves his ulti as well.
The first Shen ultimate before you've started to get any sort of cooldown reduction as well. Very long cooldown, and Jensen gets that one out with almost no effort. Didn't have to expend anything there. Definitely a lot of control here. Going Cloud9's way and removing a lot of the comeback options that TSM would want to try and use. The other one definitely being that Ash Arrow that should come in soon for Turtle.
Well, it's been a while again since Bjergsen's played Zed. This is the first time he's ever played it. This split, of course, is a trademark Zed player. Time and time again. I was kind of wondering when he was going to feel like playing it. Looks like today's the day, but Jensen holding steady in the mid lane. Nice and safe on the Echo, particularly with Chrono Break available. Good taunt by Haunter. Forces Impact to equalize. That could be a solo kill. Haunter grabs it.
All right. The question is, who will step up for TSM to get them out of this situation? Haunter says, They've got more problems to deal with, though.
Yeah, Contracts and Jensen teaming up. Bjergsen still hasn't gone for a recall. Yeah, a good chunk of gold in his pocket. So wanted to base, but the turret was under threat. Svenskeren does what he can to save him, but Bjergsen's got no ulti. Jensen still has Chrono Break, so Svenskeren just going to have to help him shove in the mid lane.
Yep. One of the things Graves does best.
Tax your lane.
Come on,
shove minions.
Help you out for a purchase here. Honestly, with Bjergsen opting to go for this lethality early build, he's sticking around to do another wave. It's interesting because in the pure 1v1, having the extra, Hex Drinker rush is always super nice, but having the extra damage to be able to, kill them in the all-in or kill someone else if you're roaming maybe bottom or something is an interesting give and take here. You're a little bit, less tanky, or a lot less tanky, not having Hex Drinker, but it does give you that extra kill pressure on somebody else.
Been spotted by a nice word from Cloud9, so this lane gank not going to work out. He hits the recall button immediately, so won't waste too much time, but I like the thought. Good cancel from Sneaky of Wild Turtle trying to set something up with the arrows. Svenskeren going to recall further back in the lane, but Cloud9 know that mid and bot are a little safer. The teammate now up for Haunter means that Impact's kind of feeling the pressure in that lane. Made the misstep under the turret, got himself solo killed, and Haunter's got pretty firm control of the wave.
Haunter, the shining star here for TSM so far. Even though he had to use his first ultimate to go save, or maybe give a cushion. I don't know if he had to, but regardless, didn't get anything out of it.
Bjergsen has gone back as well. Looks like Edge of Night might be the first item here. Does at least have a Nomad mantle.
For sure. Yeah.
which makes sense given the mage matchup. Edge of Night's just, I mean, of all the many wonderful things it does, the fact that it's kind of like a Hex Drinker that does even more damage is, I think, for me, the thing that pushes it over the edge.
Yeah, definitely the low cooldown on spamming your shield is super
Yeah.
nice. The one thing you do lose out on here is that Hex Drinker's super early impact. Super cheap. As soon as you combine it, you have this giant shield. And Edge of Night, you just have to wait a little bit longer to actually combine it. Turtle, though.
Good arrow. Has to get out from Smoothie, though. Snag in a land. Firefrost here to save him. Strangle Thorns. Turtle going to flash. Heals as well. So who else is here? C9 TPing Impact in.
Ultimate is available.
Contract's also here. Great equalizer from Impact. Firefrost burning down. They're going to dive on the Turtle. Sage United needs to be completed. Snipe complete! Does go down. Contract's going to fall. Firefrost actually gets it.
Yeah, even though Contracts blows up, that's going to give them control of this turret. They should be able to get first, or they already got it in mid lane, but they're able to get another turret here for C9, overloading on this top side. It should be answered by TSM on the bottom side because Sven is already counter jungling down there, but going for that 1v1 trade, TSM actually in the hole right now isn't the worst thing for them. They're able to get a counter kill on the Contracts. They're able to trade an outer turret and stabilize a little bit as far as that gold is concerned. And there's your Edge of Night completed for Bjergsen. So now he has bypassed that little area of uncertainty and should be able to spam that anytime he goes in for a move, be able to negate the first spell.
There's tower in for TSM, so after all the trades, it's 2,000 gold ahead for Cloud9, and Jensen in particular will be happy to have gotten bonus gold from that first turret in mid lane. That is going to force Bjergsen up top. He's going to start split pushing, or at least taking that sideway farm. Total going to commit to mid lane. Doesn't have a turret to fall back to, but it's probably the safest place for him to farm and can be impactful with the arrows as well, because Ashe will need to build up more farm for this game.
Definitely true. Turtle will be in a hole for a while. He's going to have to, Essence Reaver is completed. Yeah, you start getting some cooldown reduction and throwing off these arrows, but definitely not going to be the damage output of Sneaky, who's already off to the races with his own Edge of the Night completed. So C9, now it's pretty much opposite situations from last game. C9, they're the ones with the early lead, with the damage-heavy comp, looking to snowball, chain these outer turrets, and start pressing TSM in. You want to starve the enemy team of resources. You take all the outer turrets, move up your ward line slowly so you deny jungle farm. You make them walk the long routes between their lanes, so it makes it more difficult to farm as well. And the counter there from TSM is, can you hit your Ashe arrows, to pick members of Cloud9 off and try to get back in that way?
Well, much like we saw in Game 1 and a little bit in Game 2, it's tricky when you're losing on the overall map space to have vision to make those plays, so Cloud9 should be holding steady.
And even more so, even though they do have Hanser on Shen, who's doing very well for himself, you have to worry about what you're giving up whenever you try and go for a kill on one of those picks, because Impact here, still pushing up. It looks like they're actually making a play on the bottom side with Svenskeren was sitting around the top edge, and they sent Hanser to go look for Impact. But Impact actually evaded them. Sven has to just walk away with only a scuttle take.
Sneaky and Smoothie still chilling out here. Sneaky's got a safe haven to farm from here in the mid lane.
Also, is definitely worth mentioning that Cloud9 are running that double solo laner teleport, right? Jensen on this Echo, even though you use the early teleports to get back to lane for laning priority, he has it available now, and he's level 11. So this is another thing that you do have to worry about as far as the map opening up and the ward line slowly encroaching. Not only could it be Impact teleporting in for these, but Jensen could also pull the double teleport. And if C9 just go 1-3-1 and Impact, while he doesn't have flash, wants to play more safe and just hold bottom side, if Jensen can push up, Cloud9 can kind of section off the bottom area and try to move in for that last outer turret.
Understandably, this game is feels quite a bit slower than our first two. Still pretty even as far as overall gold goes. C9 know they have a lead, but they're going to want to play very slowly with their side waves and their double globals. TSM, on the other hand, trying to make a play. Going to look for Impact. Bjergsen flashes in, uses the death mark. Taunt down there onto Impact. That's an easy pop as Haunter gets it.
Yep. Impact there going for the wave as he dies. Does get some gold while he's going down. And that's the benefits of, you know, setting up your 1-3-1 beforehand. Even though you lose impact, Cloud9 are pressing heavily on the secondary turret of top side, and Sneaky opens up mid.
Oh, Arrow finds Contracts though. Now TSM gonna pop. Contracts lives through the collateral damage.
Looks like they left Bjergsen on bottom side to be split pushing with Zed as well. Takes out another wave, and they don't give up the turret, though it is weakened pretty heavily.
Yeah, will not regenerate either. Needs to go one step further in the turrets for that. Haunter will retake this wave. No ultimate, but has the teleport. So TSM get a little back there with some gold.
And you have to say, there aren't a whole bunch of options for TSM to go for in order to get gold on this map. So the proactive use of their Shen ultimate to be able to secure the kill on Impact, who is still waiting on the flash cooldown to come back up, is definitely a good, you know, move, because there aren't too many proactive plays you can go for when you're in this situation to get some extra gold. They are able to make that one count, but it's not going to be much more after that, right? It's a many-step process.
Jensen's going to continue to get more irritating as the game goes on as well. We saw Bjergsen pretty much split push his way to victory with Echo and I believe Shen on that team as well. So you can see where the options are for Cloud9. Again, is slowing things down here through the mid-game as the teams don't want to concede too much in what is the final game of this series. But Haunter especially still continuing to do work. 2-0-1 on the Shen.
I think it'll be very telling if TSM actually try to contest this Drake, because while they do have Turtle's Ash Arrow coming off cooldown very shortly here, they don't have, you know, a huge amount of extra vision around the Drake, and it is still dangerous for them.
Jensen's still facing. Oh, Good Spirit's Refuge, but shields up for Haunter. Jensen is a Protobelt as well, so doesn't really need to stop here. Haunter gonna just try and fight instead. Stun coming up, Protobelt's in. It's gonna be for the stun, but Haunter taunts out. Snare lands in from Smoothie though. Good blast code to save Haunter. Jensen follow flashes. Haunter flashes as well. Juka to Q's not quite enough. And a Haunter maybe going to turn it around. Jensen should have it, and he does.
Because they roamed up to the top side with so many members though, TSM slip in to try and trade an Ocean Drake for a single kill. And an Ocean Drake for just a single kill is pretty good if you're the team trying to stay at your turrets a little bit and help regenerate. The problem would be if they give up more, because Cloud9 did push up mid lane. It doesn't like they have to give up more, so honestly, not too bad for TSM there as they get a Drake in exchange for Haunter's life.
Haunter holds on to most of his cooldowns as well, just had to burn the flash and very nearly killed Jensen 1v1. Which is quite impressive. Jensen looking for the turret. Big wave is there, but not sure that's enough to clean it out with Bjergsen here to answer.
Cloud9 do not want to, you know, give away a bunch of Drakes. TSM have gotten the first two, so they're actually feeling pretty good about it. Impact is the target once again. He has flash this time.
Smoke screen for Span, 1v1, needs the ultimate, gonna line it up. There it is, but it's not enough. Oh, it is! But Contracts gets the counter kill. Stand United can't save him.
Impact, yeah, did not expect the explosion there to kill him for some reason, and goes down with flash up. Whoops.
Well, trade there, I suppose. Fence going with a good individual play. Although Haunter's shield not enough to save him, sadly.
I mean, a risky play. It did end up paying off, but I think Impact definitely should have been expected to flash early, and not now. We're another heavy trade here as all the teams are heading down. You see the jungle on the mini map here on your left. All of Cloud9 are coming.
Haunter 1v4 right now. Chronoback from Jensen out from under the turret as Smoothie tanks the next set of aggro. Bjergsen going to take a turret in the deal, though TSM defend nicely.
Yep, not only defend, but again, Bjergsen back at the split push. Finds himself some more gold in the outer turret. There's AoE there from the team. So this ends up being a successful play from Spence Garen, kind of, but I don't think it should have been. As Contract goes in, and they did use the Shen ultimate there too. So a decent amount of resources expended, but all in all, the gold back to even, TSM Drake advantage, and Cloud9 are gonna have to outplay them here because they don't have a tremendous amount of reliable crowd control to set up their team fights with. It's so much more about zone control. They have a lot of areas that they can control with Zyra ultimate, with the Jensen Giant Shield, and the Rumble ultimate. However, if they don't fight in a jungle corridor, TSM might be able to evade those and take out a lot of the power that comes with it.
And again, they're still waiting on some of their members to grow up as as well. Sven, he's strong. Bjergsen also strong with the early lethality, but Turtle will scale nicely into this game. Bifrost should be helping in team fights as the more defensive, team fight-oriented support. And Haunter is continuing to get stronger as a tank and should be impactful throughout the entire game. It's not saying that Impact won't be. His Rumble should be nice in team fights, but much like in Game 2 for TSM, the barrier of execution is just a bit higher. And TSM, given that they've managed to find a way to catch up in this game and even it out, should be happy now to go back, play it a little slower, let Turtle get stronger, and if they see an opportunity, take it.
Little Ninja here with a spell shield makes walking through enemy territory a lot easier. Bjergsen easily able to get out here. And you're right. I mean, the margin for error is very low with those types of compositions. And TSM have actually been getting a decent amount of gold back into this game by their Ignite Zed split pushing, as no one could really answer Bjergsen getting to his double lethality already, and it looks like another one quickly on the way. Cloud9 do jump on him though.
Going in for it, Jensen trying to start things off. Jin ultimate is dodging it around. Bifrost hits the next hit. Haunter onto Speng with the Stand United. Now looks to turn it around. Arrow lands on the contract. Get a taunt him in. Should be enough, but Jensen takes out Speng on the other end. Now Sneaky getting jumped on by Bjergsen. Bjergsen flashes in with the Ignite. The pop is not quite enough. It is though with the Ignite. And now Impact taunted up by Haunter as the rest of TSM come down.
TSM able to take down 3 members of Cloud9 and should be able to get dead.
No,
Whoa!
taunted as well. Pops Azonias has the chrono break.
He killed,
but it's in space. I think he's going to go down in place. Excuse as Jensen dives back in. He wants a trade, but that's an ace for TSM.
I think Smoothie walked in too close to the shuriken there as well. Bjergsen got the full kill there. That's another.
Got the bonus kill.
Another one, yeah, bonus kill, pass through. Ninja accuracy at TSM. We said, you know, margin for error for Cloud9 super low. They did not meet that margin.
No.
TSM absolutely break this game wide open.
5 people down, 2 extra turrets for TSM, and a healthy gold lead to boot.
So what Cloud9 are thinking here is that they see 3 members and they account for the Shen, but they still think, okay, 5 versus 4 is maybe the best opportunity we get. That Rumble ultimate, 0 damage out of that thing. Contracts gets nailed with the Ash Arrow, so TSM evened it up very quickly there, and Haunter's just chasing off everybody in the backline as far as the damage. The only one from Cloud9 that got anything done there was Jensen, who quickly dove the backline and was able to kill Sven Skaren, but that's it. And let's see Smoothie here, because deceptively, he doesn't. Oh yeah, Bjergsen. See, he did. Shadow in, shuriken down. That was full range too.
That's smart from TSM. They used one ninja to cover for the other ninja. Haunter, I think, was on top of the shadow model. TSM, though, reap healthy rewards. 3,500 gold up now with a Mountain Drake to get for themselves. If they'd like it, up in 3 seconds. They have one already. A second would be awfully nice, because every time they win a fight, they'll take the maximum on objectives. Threatens Baron nicely as well, and this should be going over cleanly. Contract's almost in the area for a steal, but I don't know if he even wants to try and take it.
Nah.
Not worth it. Just not worth the risk. Instead, they'll give it over to TSM. Jensen and Bjergsen meeting for a bit of anime. Oh, no, Stand United going to ruin the whole party. Bjergsen back in with a dash.
Oh!
A kill needs to land a little bit more. Q's going to land. It's not enough for the pop, and Bjergsen going to get it turned around. Goes back to a shadow as Haunter covers the rest of his team for the Jin shots. Last bullet goes wide, and TSM defend well.
Yeah, I mean, with all those ultimates being used, you know, if you take out more and more of these variables, it favors TSM, who are already ahead, who have stacked up all these dragons, who have control of the map, who have this gold lead. So all in all, even though nobody dies there, I think that's advantage as far as the skirmish goes to TSM, because they're setting up some vision around Baron. You know, they get to easily reset after that. And even though Cloud9 are trying to clear it out, it's going to take a while.
Well, there again, everyone's still powering up.
Did he get the last one? Yes.
Nice, got all the wards there.
He had a pink ward there anyway.
Yeah, well, makes it easier. And now Baron Vision back in control. TSM with an instant question mark ping to the area. So aware that don't want to give that one away lightly.
All right. Let's see what a comeback looks like for Cloud9 then. Because you still do want to, you know, jump on TSM unawares. Even though, like we saw, they're pretty good at counter-engaging with Shen Ultimate and Ash Arrows. You know, those were the 2 members that weren't with the 3-man squad and can add to that team fight even from afar. That's still the angle you want to go with if you're C9. Jensen can't make any headway versus Hanser now that his Spirit Visage is completed on top of his Merc Tread. So Hanser there was the one to really hold his own in the lane phase, got himself a solo kill. And he has been doing quite nicely for them.
And then we talked about the TSM with Ivan Nakai. Contract phase check-in. Arrow lands in, hits Contracts, damages there. Bjergsen wants to try and finish him off, and Skaren able to clean it.
These are why we keep saying margin for arrow is so low. There's no one who can safely take an arrow. Anyone who gets hit with this arrow is going to have huge health percentage loss. Contracts last time, dead. Impact this time, dead. Baron now, possibly dead.
Well, 6,000 health left. Bjergsen, they're a little late. Smoothie trying to zone them out, but Jensen wants to dive in for it. He's on to Total. Damage is big. TSM trying to finish everything here. Sands United might save Total. The Exhausted down as well. He'll flash out of it, but they have to get out the
1,300 Contracts is in!
And there it goes down. C9 walk in and take
Oh my goodness, Jensen still at it!
Still going. Pops his Omnias after the convergence. Stuns up Haunter. And now chase him down. Haunter very tanky, but Jensen wants to squishy Bifrost. Can't get it, but that was horrible for TSM.
That is a Baron throw right there. Let's see how far that throw goes, though. Cloud9 so happy about this pickup. You can see Jensen there. He doesn't hesitate at all. He knows we can't just walk around Baron and wait for this, poke. Jensen beelines it right into the back line. He takes all the DPS off Baron, so then Svenskeren is sitting in there with nobody helping him DPS this Baron. They've got split calls where two members are trying to fight Cloud9. You can't have split calls where just the jungler is trying to finish the Baron by himself. The rest of the team is fighting. That is the worst possible scenario. You either have to all turn or all burn. And they got split up there. Cloud9 picked them apart. That's exactly what Cloud9 needed to get back into this game. Let's see how much gold they can get off of it, because now they're the ones with the push advantage. And they're all headed right down mid lane.
Still a 50-50 Baron as well. Sven was there to at least maybe smite it, but everything goes wrong after TSM's reckless decision. And C9 tie the game back up. 3 turrets to 4, gold lead well in their favor, and they're pushing for more with this Baron buff.
They know that this is a window that's been open for them, and they want to push it as far as they can go. Bjergsen is looking to flank, try and get in here from the side, and Hanser will be coming in on his back. This will be the double ninja backline dive, soon to be added to the Olympics.
Only one ninja getting caught right now. Contracts doesn't quite land a spike. So Zed gets away, no slow forthcoming. Gonna take the Grump away instead. There is a turret to defend here, but I'm not sure TSM fancy defending just an outer turret versus a Baroned up Cloud9. Only a minute 30 on the buff. Cloud9 need to make some haste to do real damage here, but should at least get themselves ahead.
I do think this one is forfeit, yeah. This should be easy pickings. But TSM could pose a bigger threat at the secondary one. Oh, there it is! The double ninja back dive!
Sneaky ninja seed, caught up as well. Sneaky goes down. Bjergsen makes a huge play with the help of his top laner. Sven flashes out to safety. Jensen, Chrono breaks back in. Big redemption though coming out from the support, and Bjergsen gets a double kill.
And all of the judges, 10, 10, 10 for that one. Bjergsen and Hanser absolutely destroyed Cloud9. They actually, I thought they were going to wait till the next turret, but they jumped right on him. Immediately annihilate Sneaky, Contracts, and Impact. So that was a short-lived comeback.
I have to ask you, is double ninja backline dive a winter or a summer sport?
That's definitely a spring sport here, baby.
Well, they'll take a turret for their troubles there as well. Let's watch.
Split the middle.
Let's watch this 10 again.
Yep, there it is. Sneaky even flashed away, but it still can't get out of there as Bjergsen's able to get forward immediately with Hanser, still able to come in. Then he can easily land the flash, and there's nobody who can take shots on this team. TSM, take him down.
I mean, they take him, but don't take him very well.
50-50.
That's how I felt after that Baron throw. Down Drake goes down, though. TSM stacking objective massively here. I mean, sure, bad decision making at the Baron gives it over to Cloud9, but they make the proactive play to get themselves back in the game. And 4 Drakes is a huge overall win. We can kind of understand why they wanted the Baron, because they had 2 Mountain Drakes and now they've got 3.
3 Mountain Drakes. Seems these turrets will fall very, very quickly as well. And TSM have not been shy about returning to the split push here. Bjergsen is now level 16 on Zed, even though Jensen has been the man for Cloud9. There's not much that he can really do to bring together a team fight. You know, he's doing his best. He's dabbing in the back line, taking them out, but you know, causing the scatter is not quite enough. And I don't know, even as level 18, with how many kills he's been able to get, if he's going to be able to answer.
He's got no help. We saw it in the last game where TSM's comp just didn't have anyone else to kind of get the damage deals in, and Jensen wants to dive, but he's got really no one else to dive with unless they have picture-perfect initiation.
Impact is 0-6 on this Rumble. Not been able to have any really game-changing Rumble ultimates. And it looks like, once again, team with the tank. Advantage here in mid-game. 32 minutes in, though. TSM, no objectives will come up too soon, so they're taking it a little bit slow and trying to move through the ward lines. They're actually not really being aggressive at it at all, even though they do have San United. Guess they're saving all of their cards for the soon spawn of Baron.
Yeah, 145 till that one's up. Bjergsen, though, poised for a potential 1v1. Not sure he wants to go in onto the Zhonya's chrono break up Jensen.
It'll signal that he wants to go in if we see the Edge of Night activating. Does not go for that, so we probably won't get any action.
Taking the farm instead. TSM playing it slow as they move up towards the next major objective. They've got a huge Drake advantage for this next Baron fight. And they've seemed to have played the team fights fairly straightforward. They've got that compositional advantage as well.
Yeah. I think that TSM, you could say they should be a little bit more aggressive in setting up their vision, because as soon as that sucker spawns, 3 Mountain Drakes, you can take it down in a second or two. So if they have these control wards, there's 4 control wards in inventory right now for TSM. If they move right to Baron right now, place them down, they should be able to at least make C9 come face check them with all the squishy members. That would be a death sentence.
Svenskeren going to get spotted by Jensen. Cloud9 still have the foothold in the Baron area. Scry's Bloom by Smoothie going to find themselves a few wards to take down. TSM just don't quite have it all set up yet. 30 seconds till Baron.
Yeah, I mean, right now they don't even have Hanser pushing bottom wave. He's using his ward actually to protect his split push. And they're going to go for the slow pressure of the Shen push on bottom to slowly build up and force Cloud9's hand. Wow, that Scuttle Crab is actually quite good for C9. Going to provide them with a lot of undeniable vision.
Well, Smoothie got tagged. There's the arrow. Just misses. Good flash. Bjergsen gets tagged, but no snare from Jin following up. C9 looking for a play.
Yeah, and they're getting Nancy.
They are leaping in. Some poke on the Svenskeren, but Haunter is now starting to provide even more pain for Cloud9. He actually taunts back towards the wave to get the push started.
All right, gonna keep it up, and C9 have to make this decision now. Rumble's heading down, actually. It looks like Impact will volunteer. He has teleport, it just has a long channel time, so you have to be careful with it.
Jensen down here as well, actually, so they're going to use 2v1. Oh, they spotted contracts.
They trade Edge of Night spell shields.
No arrow up, but there's the vision that TSM wanted around the Baron. Oh, Bjergsen all in for Smoothie, looking to make the play. He's out, that's a kill. And now Haunter fights sneaky, huge shot on the back end. Gets the next kill, and now the redemption down. Going to keep Haunter chugging forward. Once again, the tag team between these solo landers has been huge this series.
There we go. They are able to flash in, finish him off. That's 2 kills down. Jensen, Contracts, Impact. They've got to make their last stand now.
And Impact can't make it back in. He's in mid lane, but he canceled that teleport. Baron is going down so quickly. Equalizer burning down. Don't miss this smite. Svenskeren nails it. And now Contracts, the next target. Jensen rolls away from that arrow.
All right, C9 going to try and turtle inside their inhibitor turrets. Very, very difficult here as Hanser still has teleport. He can usher these minions right up to the inhibitor turret while the rest of TSM pushes down mid lane. Oh, actually, Jensen is just trying his best to make this one a Cloud9 victory. He's still at it, takes down Wild Turtle. maybe it buys them a little bit of time and deflates some of the momentum of this Baron buff. Let's take a look at it. Turtle,
He's just chilling.
Turtle did save his summoner spells though.
Ow.
So I guess he was like, yeah, Jensen's there. All right, I'm saving my summoners.
I mean, I like that decision from Total, but Jensen just erased poor Ash off the map. I mean, almost 6 Adam Echo, excuse me, is going to do that. Jensen at 4-1-0. He is very tough to handle. Oh, double into
Bjergsen's
backline dive
received a new
again.
mission.
All right. First heat's down. They scored a 10. Here's the second heat. Can they cancel it? Oh, my God! I cancel by killing him, I guess. Jensen stuns one up, but he's coming out of Zhonya's. He should go down here. Bjergsen going to stab him straight in the back.
Ay, that damage from Bjergsen. All right, well, let's see about this. Is anybody even going to get close to try and steal this? Sneaky W, put your faith in that.
Is anybody going to stop Haunter while Total's back alive? They have no teleports. It's not looking good.
Somebody block it. There we go. They're what? Oh?
Sneaky. Oh, that looked close. Finskaren another clutch smite, though. We're going to be okay today.
Decently close, but they are able to secure it, and TSM move forward. Baron and Elder Dragon on split push already in motion, and Cloud9 in defense of the Alamo. Can they do it?
I mean, Jensen's still dead for 10 more seconds. Total snared up. They're looking for him. Bjergsen going to take the first use. Finskaren now joins in. Total
Turtle.
Huge damage. They need to heal him. Haunter running interference. Total gets the necessary healing. And that might actually stop this phase of the push here.
Yeah, what a rally there from C9. All damage focused onto Turtle. Buys him some time. Turtle's trying to lifesteal off of whatever he can. It's a little bit of health from the jungle creep here, but TSM's still going to return. Turtle just going to be cautious.
They need to break here. Total put in the warlords. Do his best use he can. Needs to hit a couple champs though. Inhibitor goes down. TSM just have too much damage. Cloud9 can't stop the first one. Where are TSM going next as they make their way topside?
Even with all of those shields, Turtle dropped down to 44 health right before the redemption came in to heal him back up.
Looking a bit healthier now.
Yeah, still keeping up the push, and he still has his flash, so he held on to that. Cloud9 backs against the walls. Talk about backline, actually. Smoothie and Sneaky down.
It's the finals of Double Ninja backline dive. Oh, good catch. Smoothie deleted. And now Finskaren in a right. Haunter in. TSM take the top lane in here. Cloud9 are running out of stuff to defend. Next to start number 1 is where TSM will turn their attention to. That's going to go down. Cloud9 trying to defend. Impact burns the ultimate. It's just getting a little desperate. Jensen dives in onto Haunter. Contract's almost dead. Finskaren almost gets sniped by Jin though. And Haunter still fighting out. Bjergsen into the backline, wants to try and take him down. Nikki goes down to Bjergsen, who's now dominating. Finskaren gonna get jumped up by Contracts. Good exhaust over Biofrost. And that's gonna be a kill. TSM, they storm the throne room. Can they topple the kings of the NALCS? They will. Handing Cloud9 their first loss of the spring. And our new favorite Olympic sport comes up real big there for TSM, the double ninja.
Backline dive.
So much work done. Haunter and Bjergsen had a fantastic series together. We talk about Sven and Bjergsen all the time. Sven had a decent series. Haunter had an incredible one.
Haunter definitely pulling a lot of weight here for TSM. Bjergsen was getting bullied early, but he showed up late really well on the Zed. I have to say, I'm loving this NAZ trend that we're seeing. I don't know if all the mid laners in NA decided we're bringing Zed back or what went on, but definitely making the games exciting.
And it feels like Zed has been, decent after a number of different changes that made it a bit easier. QSS no longer turns up for your ultimate, so that feels good. Assassin's got a big change throughout the last year. And I think just lethality being good, you point to champions that are going to benefit from it. Zed just kind of makes sense, and I agree. We've seen a significant increase in play, and I don't think it's slowing down anytime soon.
Yeah. It lost all 3 games in Europe. Did find that victory in Korea in the single game that was played, but yeah, the majority of those victories starting here. Impact though, Not too happy about his Rumble play. So he definitely knows that he's got some stuff to work on there. But again, this actual whole series was, Team with the Tank was the one to come out ahead.
And it's kind of funny because, game one, kind of playing with a bit of both, and then they decide to mix it up for games 2 and 3 and doesn't work out. Rumble only defeats in this series, unfortunately. Seems like Skara might have been right on the Endless test.
I also really like Karma as an answer for the Rumbles that we're seeing, because so many times Karma shield, AoE shield, plus the speed allows you to get off it that much quicker. And if these comps are the ones that don't have super heavy CC, guaranteeing that lockdown, like you're not comboing with a Jarvan, or you're not comboing him with Varus ultimate chaining on people, or some sort of hard CC to keep him on it, there's not a lot of value that teams are gaining from it, aside from, yes, early in the lane phase, can bully out things like Shen, can bully out these tanks.
And I think looking at the series overall, Bjergsen coming into the weekend said, we got stomped in series number 1 in week 1, but things will be different here. I think throughout the entire series, TSM just plain played better than Cloud9. Cloud9 did everything they could to win game 2 and had so many good moments, but team is starting to look a little more scattered, and TSM, maybe it's just the opponent they're playing, but the ship looked a lot tighter today.
Yeah, I mean, FlyQuest gave them a real good run for their money, and then TSM actually are the ones to deliver the first loss here, so C9 are going to have a lot of, review this weekend as well. Jensen, I do have to say, though, has been a shining light for them. Constant plays from him.
It's been good, but for a first-hand account on that action-backed series, let's send it to Azael and TSM's Assassin in the mid lane.
Thanks, guys. Great cast on the day. I am here with the victorious mid laner from TSM, Bjergsen. First off, congratulations on dealing C9 their first loss of the season. Huge turnaround from your earlier match against them. How does it feel to have kind of progressed this far?
Obviously, it feels good, but we still haven't progressed as far as we would have liked. We got just stomped by Echo Fox, so I'm not going to say we're in excellent form right now, but it is obvious that since week 1, we have been steadily improving, and we're going to continue to do that.
So, comparing your year 2 last year, obviously, you had a fantastic summer split, only 1 loss. And talking about your loss to Echo Fox last week, do you think that you guys can kind of get back to that form, or what is missing from last year?
I mean, of course, we can get back to the form we won in summer split, and even better. I think it's just when you have that long break in between the splits, you forget a lot of the basics of the game, and you have to constantly hammer them in every single day. And those are the things that we're working on. It's nothing too complex. It's just the basics of the game, doing it every single game, and optimizing practice. So, yeah, I'm really happy about this win, but there's still a lot of things we can get better at for sure.
Certainly are. There always are for all the teams. So coming into this game, a lot of people were talking about, Jensen maybe being the best mid laner in North America now, maybe having taken your crown. After this game, anything to say to that?
I think Jensen as an individual player is really good. His laning is really good. He's always really solid. I make more mistakes than Jensen, no doubt. When I watch him play, he doesn't really die very often. He's just a consistent force in his team. So I think in terms of being an individual player, he's been played better than me this split, but I'm just more focused on having a winning team. I just want my team to win, not for me to shine personally.
Well, I think you did shine today, regardless. A very well-played game and a very humble answer. Congratulations on your win, Bjergsen. And that's going to be it for us, guys. We're going to head it back to the desk.
Thank you very much, Azael. Very kind words from Bjergsen, thrown over to his lane opponent in Jensen in a 2-1 defeat of our previous